So I recently did a 3-part video mini series, I guess, talking about family drama. Had to be said, sometimes you have to speak your mind, and if people are going to gossip behind your back, then it's only fair that we get to share, like myself, I get to share my version of events and how I feel, because that's life. People don't like it, then don't gossip, and we won't have to talk about things. Anyway, as I said at the end of the third part, is I'm not talking about that shit anymore because I've got better things to do. And that's the thing with me. I've never allowed anyone to control me. I don't allow it. So that even that's my mindset. I don't allow anything to derail me from what I'm focused on and my goals. So like, I'm very good at carpent, segregating things. So I could have a moment where I feel strongly in one area, and then I can switch off from it entirely and focus on what I need to do. Um, because that's the thing with people in life. They will try to derail you and stop you achieving your goals at all costs because of their own limitations. Effectively, you shine a light their inadequacies. And I don't play it small. So I'm going to ask spirit questions soon. I mean, I know some people don't like the spiritual side of life, but it's unfortunately that's part of life. And once you do understand it, your connection amplifies and things make a lot more sense. Something I do find quite interesting is I did a video recently where I spoke about acquiring this and whether gaming is becoming an addiction again, whether I need to sell it, and a sign I had from spirit myself, because I have a deep connection. I can ask anything and I'll get a sign instantly. So when I was going to bed one night after I bought it, I just thought I need to know the answer to this because I'm confused. Like because sometimes your ego gets in the way, like your needs, your desires, it can sort of consume you. And it's like I just need to know impartially, like what am I supposed to do with this situation? Do I return it or am I okay with it? Like I don't know. I don't want to make the wrong decision in this situation. So I was like, what do I need to focus on? It was your books. And now I've spoken recently as well before that I had signs that my books should be my priority right now, even though it's winter and I don't normally write in the winter. They need me to be working on that. Then I asked about my audiobook, for instance, and again, that was what was going to be successful. You need to work on that too. So yeah, so I went to bed the other night, not last night, it was like a few nights ago, and I asked about that, and they said, yeah, your books, and I mentioned about what's the situation with this, and they said you can keep it as long as it doesn't impact your work. And that's the sign I got. Like, I've got gifts, so I just know it, and that's the sign I got immediately, and it was like so clear, and I was like, okay, I get you. And I also said that if I don't heed that advice, spirit will do things to derail life a little bit to make me uncomfortable, push me to do it. Now I said, of course, it could be anything to do with a handheld, it could be whatever it is, and it turns out it's this family drama by the look of it. Now I haven't clarified with spirit whether they've integrated that or whether that's just something separate, but it is remarkable that all of a sudden I do feel a spark of energy. Like, as you can see, I've got the laptop here. So I'm ready to get back to what my work is. I think it's like 4 manuscripts that are already deeply done. I only have to do edits. And if I focus on any of those manuscripts, the book will be out within 2 months. That's like how advanced it is. Even a month if I really wanted to push it, but I don't. I feel a bit annoyed that I'm still doing anything in the winter with this because I've done so much already, like books during the year. So I've already released one this year, so that's enough. But yeah, but the thing of me is I'm not going to allow situations in my life to derail the narrative. So like, what is the focus? What am I supposed to be doing at this moment? The next book is the spiritual book. So even if there's like an immense amount of drama in my life, it doesn't derail me from the project that I'm doing at hand. But I can do side notes and I can work on multiple things at once. So if I've got something in my mind, I can document it, I can work on it. And then when it comes to doing that book, I can work on it later. But right now, the focus is release the next spiritual book, which is going to be great. And I think people need to hear the spiritual journey more. I think they need to understand the signs and the gifts you can have. I also some of the signs I get some quite deep signs, and I've had confirmation of it. Like I've got a big mission on this lifetime, and it's to help heal people. So of course, toxic people are not going to be allowed to step in the way of that. I also get a lot of signs that when people do me wrong, spirit doesn't take very kindly to that because of my mission, if you like. And it might be, it can seem arrogant, but it's not. Um, The reality is what people perceive on the outside isn't always what's on the inside, and spirit knows us 100%. They know what I've been through. They know what's in my heart. They know the integrity I have, and all those things. So people can try and be corrupted, and they try and portray you one way, but that's not how it is at all. As for instance, if I'm here to do good things, spirit's not going to allow negative people to derail that message. So It's nothing to do with me. So if things start unraveling in people's lives and it goes downhill quite rapidly or quite heavy, it's nothing to do with me, is it? It's spirit taking action. Just saying. Up to people how they want to, what life they want to live. Yeah, yeah. I also get signs that it's hard for people to read me because of the protection I have around me. And weirdly enough, I had a channeling session, very gifted medium. I talk about him a lot. I have a lot of respect for him, but we don't communicate anymore. Um, but they at one point they had to do like a reading of my energy, my aura, my to do a cleansing. So we're doing that, and he said it's the first time ever he's had like it's blocked. He can't do it. Like he doesn't. He can't, he said you need to release it. I said, how do I release it? In the end, I had to just focus and say, like, allow them to do it, and then they were able to perform. But they literally could not read my energy without my permission. So I've always find that quite curious. So that means if anyone tries to get a reading on me, there's a good chance they'll only get told if they know anything. It'll only be what spirit's allowing them to know. The rest isn't for them. That's interesting, isn't it? But again, if people see my content, I don't lord over people. I just share the experience and I share my journey. I'm not here to act like I'm better than anybody else. Just we all have literally our life is our own, and we all have a life purpose. It's just different for each of us. And once you align with it, then it's like beautiful. So even if you had a small life to live, and it's just live on a farm, for instance, and it's just nurture the animals and do a humble life, that's still beautiful, isn't it? If you're in alignment with what you're supposed to do, you'll feel a natural call to do it. It'll feel peaceful, and you're not fighting against the grain. It's like no one says you've got to have wealth and popularity to be happy. It's just that too many people try to mirror other people. So they get jealous and they focus on other people's lives, which doesn't fulfill them. And they wonder why they're miserable. And it's like, it's not about literally having everything. It's like literally what aligns with you and living that life rather than getting caught up with the superficial. So, for instance, my life path may have me in situations that are quite conflicting, um, and puts me center stage at times. But it's like that's just my life path, though. That's just me in alignment with it. That's just me doing my calling on what I'm here to do and my gift. It's like that's what I'm here to do. If my role was to live on a farm, for instance, and nurture animals, and that was my inclination, and that's what was part of me, I wouldn't even have envy for it. It doesn't matter what I do as long as I'm doing what my calling is. That's my point. I don't do anything for ego, and I don't do anything for status. It's just that if this is my path, this is my path. I'll be just as comfortable doing anything smaller if my path was smaller. But too many people, like I said, they lose sight of themselves. So I want to see what spirit, because in the past I've asked them what they think of my situation with my family, like the way I've handled it, and I want to know what they think of me the way I've handled it this time. They was very positive last time. So what is spirit's opinion on the way I've handled the current crisis with my family? Gonna say I don't think they want to get involved because it took quite a while for cards to come out. Oh, it's a lot of swords and a lot of weight. I'm not sure if this one come out upside down though, the Ten of Wands, but at least the Five of Swords. Five of Swords always throws me off, but it's a chance. It's like usually quite heavy, isn't it? It's usually change, but like the middle of change is usually the chaos. Um, oh yeah, and then the back of the deck we got um Seven of Pentacles. So it's continue. It's like working on yourself though, and that's the thing. I'm working all the time. I carry a lot on my shoulders, but I managed to pull it off. Um, did Spirit instigate the situation to get me to refocus on my books? Literally, Eight of Pentacles. I don't think you can be any clearer with that. Literally, if you look, they like look at all the money they've earned, they're acquiring. They're building their foundation. Yeah. Oh wow, the Empress. I've been getting a lot of signs recently, a lot of videos saying about that I'm the Empress, and how dare people come at me when I'm here to do good things and I have my morals are in the right place and things. It's like people are just jealous and so frustrated in their own life. They have to try and bring me down. But you know, I am powerful in myself, as you can see from this. I don't back down from a challenge. Um, bottom and even further, we got that. Yeah. Okay, so I need to be focusing on the books. The books are going to be where my time and energy goes towards. And I still do my videos, of course. Don't really know what else to ask them. Again, the Seven of Pentacles. Literally, that's like been working, but you know, maybe not quite seeing. It's all growing effectively. The work you've been doing is growing. It's building. So that's good because it's stable growth. You know, I really don't. It's just what it is. I already know a lot, and it's like I already know a lot. I get a lot of signs in my life, but I have an internal knowing, and I've already asked questions in the past. It's like I don't need to keep asking and badgering them. Oh, strength. So sometimes it's like I don't really have a specific question in mind. It's mm, something's coming fast. What's happening between me and so there's someone that means a lot to me, and I talk about a lot. I consider my divine counterpart, and sometimes I do randomly ask spirit how we're getting on. Like, what's the situation now? How close are we to this? And it's like, you know, you just get frustrated that life isn't moving forward. You know, because like I say, I'm only interested in a small circle. As you said, cards come out. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm only interested in a small circle. I genuinely don't care about being applauded by the masses or having everybody adore me. It's like, I just want a small circle, like my mum, my daughter, and whoever my counterpart is, like a relationship. That's enough for me. I just need a group I trust, and I live a simple life. You know, I don't need big crowds. So I'm not interested in that gossip party shit where people just want people's attention because they can't cope in their own energy. Whereas I enjoy my own energy, so I'm really just looking for people to enhance it and make like, you know, it's not a case of need anybody to fulfill me though because I can do that myself. Ah, Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. So between me and this person, we got Two of Pentacles. It's almost like something's being juggled, balanced. I get the feeling of alignment with that. Like things are being aligned because you have to match each other. You know, it's no point in someone being in this status and this one. You know, you have to be in alignment. Oh yeah, restless, sleepless nights. I kid you not. I can't even freaking sleep at the minute. I've had signs in the past that it could be because of your twin flame, which I never used to believe in. So, like, let's say they're thinking of you, you're not going to sleep. Also, had a sign of psychic attacks, weirdly enough, and it said you're being kept awake at night because in your sleep you're more vulnerable because that's when you're traveling throughout the astral, and then that you're more susceptible. And then I thought that was quite interesting. I had that sign, and then all of a sudden this drama with my family, and I thought that makes sense. Um, because even if you're not intending to do things, for instance, you just, you know, energy is energy. Right, let's see what Archangel Michael thinks of me because he's really, really stringent with me. He's got such a, I say high expectations only because he's so firm with me. It's like, Jesus. It's like, Jesus. Let's see. What does Archangel Michael think about my growth so far? I usually get quite a low card with Archangel Michael. Holy shit. Strength. He's witnessing my strength. Oh, that makes me proud. I talk about this a lot as well. Like, I'm not in when I say I'm not interested in impressing people. This is why, like, I don't like using the word humility, but it's like that's why my morals are so high. You know, like, I've always had high morals anyway. But it's like when I know I'm making my angels proud, and the higher echelon on that side, it's like, that's all about that is absolute integrity. That's doing things for your highest honor, highest good, and it goes above me. And, when I know I'm doing making them proud, it just really makes me happy. Like, I could make someone in life proud, and it doesn't really mean that much to me without I keep saying without being arrogant, but it's just, it I'm already fulfilled in myself. I don't need recognition from people. I don't seek it. But because of status-wise, the angelic realm's far higher than I am, and I respect that. It's like we're part of something bigger in that sense, and it's like knowing that I'm fulfilling whatever I'm here to do, and I'm growing into it. That makes me really happy because then I know that I'm doing something. Because he's really harsh with me. Like, geez, I don't feel I can do anything right. Oh wow, Ace of Cups is on the back as well. Overflowing of love. That's beautiful. Again, working at your craft. Do they need me to focus? I know that. I'm getting goosebumps. They need me to focus. And that's what I talk about. Like, I won't allow people to derail me. So you can see me getting fired up and really, really pissed off with certain aspects of life. And the next day, or even just a couple of hours later, you'll see my complete demeanor change because I'm so focused on my goals. I just won't allow people to derail me. And yet people are sitting in their misery for months. I say that all the time. I live rent free in people's heads. They can't seem to get me out of their head. It just like bothers them. And I'm like moving on with life. So I continue to make strides forward while everybody else just stays still for some reason. So for me, it's like that happened ages ago. To them, it only just happens. It's weird. We're just not in alignment anymore. Um, let's see this. Have I outgrown my family? Ah, existing family, because I've got my own family, my daughter and stuff, and I'm going to create my own family, my own legacy, my own generations. What would you call it? Inherited family? Oh, they know. Have I outgrown my family? Hmm. That's a weird one because that's a no card. That's if I've actually got a permanent no card. So if a no card comes out, it's a big no. That can also be heartbreak. But that's no. Knight of Swords. Swords is all about communication, truth, clarity. So it shows an eagerness to speak your truth. Um, I think the whole point of it is that it's not about being better than anybody else. So like maybe you haven't outgrown them as such. I don't really understand that because I know I have outgrown them in a sense, but it's like, but I think spirit's trying to teach me a lesson there. The thing is, I'll never forgive, and it's like I know forgiveness is a big thing with them. They don't want people living with hate. Like you have to heal. So like if I'm here to heal I think that's a big part here. I'm more happy to invest in strangers. I'm more happy to invest in strangers and never deal with my family anymore. Like I've had enough of them. But if you think about it, let's say he was able to heal the entire planet. Let's say you had that much of an impact. That seems mad, doesn't it? I don't suppose that's even possible. But then you left that pocket who have actually done you wrong throughout your life, or you don't like anymore, and you refuse to help them. That's that part of humanity that doesn't get healed. I know they want me. They don't know if they do, but I think they do. Okay. Am I helping my family grow? All right. Am I helping my family grow and heal? Truth, clarity, speaking the truth, seeing the reality, but also it's walking away from what doesn't serve. So I am having an effect on them. Yeah. Oh, no, that was from the back, wasn't it? Does spirit need me to forgive? Does spirit need me? Does spirit need me to forgive my family one day? Well, we're not going to. I don't think they're going to address that anytime soon. I think, to be honest, it's too raw at the moment. They're not getting involved. Um, yeah, I'm not going to push it. One more shuffle, and then we're done. Yeah, that's what I'm showing. Like the cards don't just fall out because you want them to fall out. You know, if they don't want to answer something, they're just not going to point blank answer that one. I think, to be honest, my family have to grow. They have to heal. I think that's what it is. You know, I'm always healing. It's not me saying I'm better than people, but I'm already ascending. I'm already seeing things from from better perspectives. You know, they're sitting in the misery. So it's not a case of you going, "Oh, I'm better than this situation." It's like, I'm just outgrown that sort of lifestyle. I don't live there anymore. You know, that's them, and they're going to have to get themselves out of the gutter pretty much and stop trying to like live your life vicariously for others or instigate drama just to feel alive. You know, it's like you're going to have to heal that and start living in alignment with with like a better values. Um, yeah, I just don't think. I think spirit just doesn't want me to lose sight of reality to an extent. Picking five of wands again. Swords. Same one we had the first time when I spoke about family. Um, don't really know what else to ask. I don't want to drag it on. And I don't want to ask personal things all the time on camera, like, for instance, like what my career is going to be and all that, because that's for me. And I don't need people trying to derail my progress. You know, I can talk about certain things, but I'm not going to keep talking about like the higher status and the things that are coming. It's not, that's for me, between me and my guides, you know. King of Swords. That's a wise leader. And that's like knowing that now. It's like, I know that now. I know when to talk about something and when not to, and that's literally what that is. Oh wow! And then we've got the Page of Pentacles. But like I said, I don't want to derail. And then we've got the Emperor. Mm. I don't want to derail too far off. But everything happens for a reason, you know. And it's trying to figure that out, and that's what it is. So effectively, once you're in alignment with Spirit Source, and you guide, and you know the connection you have with them, and you can trust them, it just makes life so much easier, you know. Because you may feel entitled one way or another, but it's you're wasting your energy if it's the wrong thing. So, for instance, I can have I can have an opinion on something, but if they're showing me something else, it's really important that I listen to that. Otherwise, I'm going to spend months, years trying to learn the lesson that they've been trying to get through to me in the first place. So, for instance, let's say the lesson is to not necessarily. I don't think you have to deeply forgive and have them in your life, people. But I think understand. I think what it is, it comes from understanding why people do what they do. Like what hurt do they have in their life? What has their upbringing been? What has the influences been around them? And all those things. So understand that sometimes people are a reflection of their environment. So there's like deeper things rather than just say someone's a cretin or someone's an asshole. Maybe you got to think, why are they like that? But again, most people are just stubborn anyway, so they just refuse to grow. Um, but I think once you understand that a bit more, it's less judgment, isn't it? And it's just more about like wish them well and move on with your life. And I think maybe that's what let's get it at. So I think when Spirit's saying, like when I said about have I outgrown the family, it's like I think what they mean, yeah, the more I'm thinking about it now, it's like you haven't outgrown them, they're still learning from you. Still learning from me. Again, I'll never get recognition of it. I don't need recognition of it. If what I do helps anybody, even if anybody I perceive to be an enemy, it's like I hope I always wish people grow. No one wants toxicity in this world, so if we can eradicate that, that'd be nice, won't it? Um, but like I say, I'm going to be working on my books. It's going to be the spiritual one I've got to focus on, but I will be all over the place because I tend to have. Last time I had it open and I was working, I had 4 manuscripts open and I was jumping between all of them, and it was quite interesting. Because if I haven't actually got a deadline set, then there's no real need for me to sort of like throw everything into that. But if I think, I want this out by that time, then that'll be the focus. Also, I want to find something better. My sleep patterns are terrible. And I sleep way too late. I'm barely, I think I had like 2 hours sleep. That's not healthy, is it? It's not good. And it's getting like that quite a lot. And I just want to find more of a balance to my day. Because if I could do different things throughout the day, mix things up, then I think your life just has a bit more variety to it, doesn't it? And so what I want to start doing is get back, because I was really happy when I was reading. Like, I love gaming though, and it's a distraction. But you can play games and you don't even realize how much time's passed. That's an issue. I like watching films. I like doing things. I'm just like a random. I'm just a basic normal person. Do you know what I mean? I don't. I'm all right. But I do enjoy reading. But sometimes you get overstimulated with other things, and then you don't end up reading so much, and it's like that's so annoying. Because I still got this one to read, and I was freaking loving it. A Court of Thorns and Roses. Oh, it's gone black on there because of the filter thing running on it. And yeah, oh, Court of Mist and Fury. That's the second one. So yeah, I'm in the mid. I like a third of the way, maybe. Oh, quarter, maybe quarter or a third. And I just still got to get that finished and then get onto the other books in the series. But I want to start doing that. Maybe not every night, but some nights just sit there, get all cozy in bed at a decent time and just snuggle up and just get and read a book. And it'll help me because it'll make me calmer. It mixes things up a little bit rather than feel frustrated that you haven't achieved anything. It's like, yeah, if you do multiple things, you achieve multiple goals, don't you? Like I say, I've got the book to do as well. Yeah, it's not on my to-do list really, the book at the moment, because I like having done so many already. I know the can of worms it opens. To work on a book, it's like it becomes the focus of your energy, and it's like I really just want to relax though. I don't want to push myself like that right now. I don't want to. There's a time and a place, and I don't feel it's now, but Spirit's saying it's now, and it's like, oh, okay. Get a lot of signs about breakthrough. Again, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I get a lot of signs about career breakthrough. Weirdly enough, my LinkedIn, I don't really bother with it too much, but it had 13, you appeared in 13 searches. Now, it doesn't mean that people clicked on you. It doesn't say they viewed. The fact you're still coming up in lists, I think, is important. One was a lawyer, and one was from Coca-Cola. I thought that's interesting. It was more the significance that your name can come up anywhere. Your name was still on a list that could have been seen. That's weird, isn't it? So I thought that's pretty interesting. So I keep getting signs, things like that, like an opportunity coming. You're not seeing it, but you're getting like I get the signs, but you just don't know where it's coming from. And literally, um, I think when you put yourself out there to the world, you give yourself an opportunity to change your life. Um, and I've no doubt the work I've done over the years, it will help people when it's time's right. I've got a no card again, but that's a weird one because I don't know why that's just come out randomly. No. Because it ain't always going to be no, of course, because the opposite, it's my no card. But when you're not asking a yes or no question, it could also just be the fact that you've betrayed a lot. You've been betrayed a lot of heartache and loss. Yeah, that's true. Again, the back of the deck, Seven of Pentacles. Literally, you can see the face. I don't know if you can see it, but look really frustrated, like really bored and fed up. But it's growing. Do you know what I mean? You've worked your ass off, and it's not really come to fruition just yet. You're waiting, and that's how it feels. Weirdly enough, that's what it feels. It feels like I know it's coming because I've put too much effort in, and I know I'm good at what I do. I know I'm good at what I do. Um, So it's almost like you're just waiting for the opportunity to come now. It's like something's going to happen. I don't know how, but you just know it's inevitable, because it's inevitable from go from 7 to 8. And of course, 8 is you're getting seeing the fruits of your labor now. Now life's really starting to pick up and be beautiful. Yeah, travel. So yeah, see where life leads us. But like I say, if you just stay in misery, you just keep yourself there. You never achieve anything. Um, So people can gossip about me, they can create a narrative, but it doesn't change my opinion of myself. It doesn't change my goals. It doesn't change my focus and my determination. Because people always consider me lazy, and I always find it quite humorous. It's like, how is it lazy to do the books I've done and do the video content I do on a regular basis? I hold myself accountable all the time. Even if I'm going through a hard period, I'll share that hard period. I don't gatekeep anything. Oh, wow, wheel of fortune. So the wheel is turning. The wheel is actually turning. So yeah, I'm always active. Like I say a lot of time I don't give myself enough credit for the videos, but the reality is the videos are gonna be where most people connect because not everybody reads books. It might be the first way most people see my content maybe through video, and it's like it's important I hold myself accountable and I make myself present. So, I do that, and I've done the books, and I've done the audio books, and I continue to push myself, and I do all sorts. So, yeah, I always found that quite funny when people just thought you're being lazy, and it's like and then they see your books, and it's like, well, but how did them words get on there then? How did that whole process come to be then? Did that just magic, did it? Because that seems like a hard work to me. Each one of them would seem like a life goal to many people because it was a life goal for me. And then I just started, I wouldn't say perfecting it, but I started getting better and better and mastering a craft. Um, and that comes from persistence and a lot of hard work over the years, isn't it? In the same way, me being on camera and talking and articulating, that's taken years of work. And that's the thing with me. Like I can recognize people's, not just people's talents, but the people's graft, the hard work they've done because you can see it yourself. If you went on YouTube, for instance, you know someone who's at the infancy of what they're doing, and you know someone who is experienced at what they do. You can it's obvious, it's apparent. So when you watch the content, you know you're watching a professional. When you're watching someone else's content, you know they may be learning still. Um, and that's what it is. So but the person who is confident and they're professional, they had to start somewhere. And sometimes you see their content there was someone I was watching on YouTube. It's gaming related, but I like the content. I like how he presents himself. I like how he articulates, and he's knowledgeable on what he's talking about. And I love that. And you're like, this is good. I can watch this guy. And then he showed a clip of a few years ago, or not even that long ago. I can't remember, even if it was a year ago or something. But his content, it was the audio quality was worse, the video quality was worse, the presentation, the way he was delivering the message, all these little things. And it's like, yeah, he was persistent though, and he kept growing. Then obviously he ended up where he is today. And someone like me, who also puts in the work, I can appreciate the growth. I recognize that everybody starts somewhere. Um, it's like I say, people will judge, but they don't even see the journey, you know. And it's only I always said that. I always said that throughout my whole journey. Eventually, people will notice the work I've done, and they'll go, "Wow, can't believe you did that." And it's the same people who thought you was lazy while you built it. And it's only after they finally see the legacy unfolding do they go, "Oh my god, I can't believe they managed to do that." It's like, yeah, and you thought I was freaking useless before. You know, be very careful how you judge people. Do you see what I mean? I always had the vision in my mind before it even happened. I've just put the work, time, and effort into it. You can have a vision, but if you don't work at anything, you're never going to amount to anything. So yeah, anyone can perceive whatever they want. If they want to try and make someone feel small to feel big, that's up to them, isn't it? Um, it doesn't negate our path. So, like for instance, with my life, I'm not here to look back all the time, and I don't, and I won't. So no matter what opportunities I get, like I've already said so many times, I get so many signs of like opportunity coming in California. I never even had an attraction to California. I say California's a bad place, but it's a bit weird that I'm getting signs. I get many signs about California. Then I had a premonition, like a vision of the future, and I was with my divine counterpart. We had a child, and we was at this orchard or something. And then I asked Spirit later on. I was like, was that a vision of the future, of my future?" And they said yes. And I was like, "Wow." You know, and in that situation, it's just what I talk about all the time. It's just me and them. Yeah, I don't know what my daughter was doing at that stage. You know, I don't think she was there, but she's got her own life to live too. But aside from her, like, 'cause she'll always be really significant in my life. She wasn't in that vision for some weird reason. Um, but other people in my life, it's like I think that people. I think what it is. I think people sort of elevate their own significance in your life. Like I've always said, I only want a small group of people I trust. I'm not looking for everyone to fall over themselves for me. I don't need that shit. I don't want that. I literally don't want that. That's the weird thing. Like, I think people find that strange that you don't seek that validation and you don't want a huge amount of people around you. For me, it's just the more people, it's more people to manage. Their expectation all the time, and then eventually they're just derailing you from what you want. I want to live a level of peace. So, like, a small family unit, like my group. That's what I want. I spend time with them. Let's do things. Let's make it, you know, I don't need everybody else around me. So the thing is, when I'm living my dream because I created it and I've invested in it, those from the past who never believed in me or never invested, or there's reasons why you're no longer in each other's lives. It's like, I'm not going to be in a good situation and be contemplating how they're getting on with their life because I'm only ever focused on my own life now. You know, you elevate me into another situation. I'm just living my dream. And I think the worst thing you can do is live your dream and keep looking back. It's like then you're never enjoying it. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm always a forward person, so I wouldn't even if I got opportunities and things, I wouldn't even stay in it and think and lose myself to it because I'll always have more goals. I think it's always important to have goals, but it's up to you to build your own life and not build your life through someone else. I don't want to start digging up my family members, for instance. I'm not going to keep digging at them because I'm just leave them to grow now. But the thing is, they live their status or their life through what other people have built for them, if you like, to an extent. Um, so they can't stand. They would struggle to stand on their own 2 feet. If what I'm saying, and I've built all what I'm doing out of nothing during my biggest nightmare. What should have buried me has made me stronger. So my biggest crisis turned me into a formidable person. It's like it's been my strength. I'm like a phoenix rising. That's what it's been like. And I'm not saying they're weak in any way, but it's like you know what? They just don't have it in them. I always trying to find an easy way out of life. I don't try to find the easy way out of anything. I just face everything head on. Um, so literally, I just become my own pillar of light. It's, I don't like I say, I don't want to dig too deep with that, but it's like yeah, people are very reliant on other people, and it's not a very good place to be when you only have yourself at some point. You got to learn to do things for yourself as well. Weirdly, I keep getting these cards coming up. The Five of Swords. Every time I talk about that situation, Five of Swords and Seven of Wands. That's crazy. So that's like holding your ground, fighting back. And that is against them. So, yeah, and you got the choices. So it's up to me how I decide to behave. Half the time I can't even be asked. So you'll see the confrontational side, but sometimes I'll just think I can't even be bothered. So it's really depending on my mood in a given situation. I have the potential to stand my ground and really make a point. And I also have another point. I have another side to me where I'm just like I can't even bother to explain myself. Like you can walk away thinking you've won, but I just don't give a shit enough to get to engage with you. So if someone could get really angry in front of me and I could either take it one way or another, I can get incredibly angry too if I want to. That's the thing with people. You can't just be the one angry and expect everybody else to just fall over themselves. That's not how it works. You can't just intimidate people and expect them not to react. So, yeah, if someone wants to get angry with me, it doesn't mean I'm going to be just like flapping around doing nothing. Maybe I want to get angry back. Now what's happening? Don't just expect people to be foolish. But at the same time, there's another side to me that could just go, I can't even be asked to waste my energy with you, though. So you can just stand there as angry as you like and get yourself all worked up. It's like, no sweat off my back. And so I've got so many layers to me that I'm that controlled that I'll decide how I handle each and every situation in my life, and it can go one way or the other. But people may perceive a weakness if you don't react. But to me, it's the strength of personal control. And sometimes I actually find it quite amusing. So I've got a strange personality like that. I had started a very gifted medium, the one I talked about before. He said you've got a very you're very everything contradicts itself with you, but that makes it intriguing. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Uh, So yeah, I just have layers, and it's like, so for instance, I'm a source of light, but I also enjoy the chaos. So like, I can work in chaos, and I think that's in itself as a gift, though, because it doesn't bring me down; it makes me stronger. Like for instance, I learn a lot in it. So sometimes if someone's you're trying to help people, but then some people that just they antagonize. So sometimes I like to just watch people's reactions. So someone could be going absolutely unhinged, losing themselves, and I'll just stand there, just monitoring and watching them, just thinking. I'll be working my way through their personality. I'll be working my way through their thought process and what's going on behind the scenes, And it's like I'm just watching them, just like I'm not intimidated or scared by their behavior. I'm more like just watching, because, like I said, we can all react. So that's the thing. Someone could stand there and go mental and just scream, and you think, God damn, they're unhinged. That's terrifying. You can also do that shit. What makes you just think a lot of the time it's like people that don't have anything to lose, they're the scariest ones. If they don't have anything to lose, there's no repercussion for them because they just don't care. That's when you'd say, oh, wow, maybe that's where the balance is. Like, there's no point risking there's no point taking stupid risks and disrupting your life. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a very calculating person, for instance. I know not to do certain things. I know to do this, to do that. Because effectively, let's say because like for instance, let's say you got an altercation, for instance, and you got a criminal record. Well, now you can't travel so much. That's not a risk I'm prepared to take for the most part. Unless I felt I had to defend myself for the most part. Um, so I'm aware of the need to be able to travel. So there's that. So, but I think some people don't think like that, and then they find themselves unable to travel. And it's like, you idiot! It's like, just think things through. Don't be so reactive. Um, make better decisions, because literally your life actually depends on it. Mm, yeah, truth. Really, it's like truth, but it's also clarity, but it's also wisdom, isn't it? Um, I probably will ask my guides questions tonight, like later on when I'm thinking clearer, like what I want to know. I'm not really in a mindset of thinking too much. Literally standing your ground, having to keep fighting all the time, such as life. Um, but yeah, I just know I'm going to lead up to doing the book. It's not like I'm going to work loads on it today, but I think it's the process. If I at least, because I haven't opened that MacBook for at least a month, maybe 2 months. I think it's going to be the case of once I open it though, and I just start sorting out where I'm at, what I need to work on. That's progress in itself, and then from there, once I start putting the effort in, it will start bit momentum builds, And I think that's when Spirit will be happy, because they don't want to see me keep losing time and energy to nothing, because that's what it is. It's like hobbies, vices. It's like, as fun as they are, it's a distraction. It's not actually going to achieve your goals. You're not going to amount to anything. It's not the thing that's going to change my life. So you can do it for a while, and now we need you to work. I'm off service. That's literally what I am. I'm off service. Um, yeah. Am I of service to Spirit? Oh my god. Am I of service to Spirit? Are you having a laugh, mate? Look at this. I'll show you in each card. You've got the High Priestess, which is incredibly spiritual, integrity, high morals, doing the right thing, but very, very like spiritually gifted intuition. Which am I of spirit source of service to Spirit? Absolutely. Then it's like, it was this one next. It's like sometimes I'm working. I work hard at what I do, what they need me to do, but I do get fed up. Look. I don't know if you can see it. I think that's the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, yeah. So I don't always see the rewards from it, and I get really fed up. But I do. But I do what they need me to do. So I'm like their little workhorse. I do what they need me to do. And then you got the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. Your wish is coming true. So literally, although I'm not seeing it yet, it is coming, because I'm doing what they need me to do. I know, cool. I told you the answer. Again, having to fight battles to stand my ground. That's what I'm talking about. I bring spirit to people. But yeah, the next book's a spiritual book. So it's going to be open people's eyes to the connection in the same way I have this connection. I see it as taboo an awful lot. Like, people don't want to talk about it, or they're scared of it, or they just think it's nonsense. It's like, I've shown in countless videos, I've shown so much. And I don't really seeking validation. Like, it doesn't change my life one way or another, whether someone believes or not. So this is the thing. If someone ever said to me, because people do, of course, in life, they'll ask questions. If someone ever said to me, is spirituality real, or is spirit real? My answer would just be, that's for you to figure out. Innately, everybody's going to know my opinion, but I'm not forcing it on anybody. There's no point in me saying what my experiences are and saying you must follow it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm leading by example by showing the connection I have. It's up to people what they want to believe in their own lives, and if they want to build and nurture a connection or not, or whether they don't believe it at all. It makes no difference to me. It's irrelevant. So the problem with religion, for instance, has been that everybody's forced their will on people, and then they create a narrative, and you cannot bend it. Whereas I think it's more important that people actually just embrace a connection of their own and nurture it and grow it and find that connection. And then it's up to them to interpret it. I'm self-taught of everything. I've met people along the way who have tried to mentor me, but I tend to be a bit of a wild stallion, if you like. I tend to be doing my own thing, and I find my own path. And I believe that's what I'm supposed to have done. And these are people that are gifted, where you'd maybe think you should listen to them. And it's like, I listen to what I need to listen to, but I have so much confidence in myself. I'm not here to beat to someone else's path. In the same way, I'm not here to tell everybody else to follow this exactly like this. It's like, figure it out for yourself. Figure life out. It's not for me to tell you one way or another, because I can't guarantee that, can I? What works for me may not work for someone else, because I don't know other people's status. I get a lot of signs that I have a high tier soul in the astral realm, and this could be my last lifetime. So it stands to reason I've got a big purpose. But someone else maybe they're more of an infancy soul, and maybe they don't have a stronger connection. Maybe it's something to build upon in future lives. Um, I don't know. but because it's not for me to figure that part out, you know, it's for other people to have that experience. You know, I can't have the experience of an infancy soul, for instance, someone that's not got so much experience because I have experience. Do you see what I mean? Like, so it's up to people to figure their own path out, and it'd be interesting to hear other people's stories, of course. Um, but it's what works for one person may not work for someone else. So, for instance, I could shuffle my cards, and while I'm talking, sometimes they bounce out, and that's because this is the thing I think people just misunderstand with the connection. I meet very gifted tarot readers and things, and they're adamant if unless they ask a specific question, then spirit doesn't answer, and I'm like, no, that's not true at all. Not for me, it's not. I don't know whatever happens for you, but they're always with us, which is why I knew I could do tarot because I get a lot of synchronicities. And then I asked people, like gifted people, like ones that do tarot, and they said spirit's definitely saying with you, yeah, definitely tarot, um, and all those things. But I thought, yeah, but it makes sense if they're with me, giving me synchronicities, then they can give me a card, um, and then that stands to reason, doesn't it? That when I'm shuffling and talking, and they're with me now, they can answer anything like when I'm talking. They can interject the conversation, can't they? So why have I got to stop, be all serious, and then ask a specific question to get an answer? They can answer me anytime they choose. Yeah, I've got something now. Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Again, they're telling me, and I think that's from what I'm educating people. That's where your wishes are getting fulfilled. But God, the Emperor standing on business. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's and I'm like that with I'm like that in my books. I'm not here to force people down a path. I don't do it. I'm just sharing my experiences, and I'm opening that channel, that connection to spirit, so people can understand it a bit better, and they've got somewhere to start, and they don't feel lonely going through it. And that's really what I'm here for. But there's no way on earth I'd ever tell someone you must believe this or must believe that. Um, you know, my daughter's on her own spiritual journey, and I listen to her. I listen to what she's experiencing because I find it intriguing. But for me, I can be a guide for her, but it's important that she has her own experiences. And I think that's just really important. Look, we got the lovers. That was about me talking about the connection with spirit, I think. Um, yeah, it's just a beautiful connection. But anyway, I don't want to drag this on. But again, like I say, any conflicts I have in my life are so minor in comparison. I've got such a big goal in life. I've got such a big milestone to accomplish. Little drama, like a soap opera, really, in the overall scheme of things of my life and what I intend to do in this lifetime, it's so insignificant. It's petty and pathetic. And it's like, but the trouble is with the people involved, it's like the pinnacle of their life, because that's the standard they set for themselves. If they aim higher, they won't bother. But if you've got nothing else to do in your life, then that's gossip is the best place to be in it because you've got nothing else to do. But for me, it just shows how small their life is. And it's like, again, I'm not doing it to antagonize. I'm just trying to make people see outside the box a little bit and say, look, if you want bigger for yourself, then you have to aim bigger. And living in that little box is not going to it's not going to satisfy you unless that's where you want to be, of course. I just want to live. I just want to live my ultimate life. I want to achieve everything I come here to achieve. If it's to have an impact on other people, then great. If it's to have beautiful experiences, then great. If it's to travel, great. But I refuse to waste my life. You know, I think what it is, I spent half my life wasting it in the first place. It's just not really knowing what you want, what you want to do, what you're good at, what you're doing. You know, it was like wayward. Now I know I'm doing. It's like it's really important. I don't derail myself. So as much as I want to sort of rest and even just play video games, it's not going to achieve my goals, is it? It's not going to have the impact that I'm expecting to have on the world or people's lives. But we all deserve rest. But then I think, to be honest, I'm someone who can go down that rabbit hole. You know, I've had my rest. So let's not act like I haven't. I've been able to rest. It's just that I now want to extend that rest. You know, we all do it. Yeah. It's like tired, frustrated. Yeah, 5 of Cups. Again, get back to working. Definitely don't want me not working, innit? No rest for the wicked, as they say. What's this one? This one's got caught round. Oh, wow. Again, see what I mean? It's consistency is what I talk about. That's like working at your craft. You're just working it hard at it. You're not seeing the results, but it's not about the results at the moment. It's about you can sit there frustrated, but work. It's funny that, and it's like being put to work. And I think what that shows is it's temperance, it's balance. And I'm talking about it all the time. I can't lose myself to gaming. I would love nothing more than just to sit and play games. I'd love to do that. Just let me chill. Let me chill. Let me chill. No, let me chill, please. They'll give you enough time to chill, and then it's like back to work, and that's literally what that is. You know. So if you want to mount to anything, you've got to put the work in. And of course, what it does, it starts to feed a desire, but also aligns you really with being productive. Like I feel really fulfilled and great once I achieve one of my goals. So when a book comes out, for instance, it's like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. That's great because I love all my books. You know, when I read them back, I'm like, that was a really intelligent chapter. That one, that was a great one. I like that. Um, and like I said, there's manuscripts just waiting to be finished. It's like, why leave them unfinished? I think that's the important part, isn't it? Just get them out. Just do it, mate. Get that legacy fulfilled. So soon there'll be 10 books. We've done 6, and soon there's going to be 10. It's not going to be long off. How mad is that? To do that. And the way I see it as well, which I think is quite remarkable when I look at my journey, is I never got the recognition early. But by the time I get recognition or anyone noticing what I'm doing, they'll see a body of work. You know, so no one can say you didn't go through that because quite obviously you did. And look at the journey you documented. And I think that's quite an important part of my journey was to document it. Knight of Cups and a 6 of Swords. Again, that's journey. That's like traveling, walking away from things. But it's like offering a cup. I see that's being of service. Oh, and swords. Like King of Swords, yeah, King of Swords. Yeah. But anyway, it's not for me to keep harping on about my spiritual. I better say spiritual, and then I see the freaking spiritual card. Oh wow. Both same colour as well, blue and purple. That's actually the colour of Archangel Michael, weirdly enough. The High Priestess and the King of Cups. Both very serious faces. I get that. It's a serious path. Take it seriously. You don't just let anybody, really just don't let anybody, just anybody and anybody around you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so keeping hold of your cups. Maintain your emotions, you know? I don't know if it's really clear, but pretty cool. I like that. So we'll leave it there. But like I say, I'm focused now. So I'm going to be working on King on the back again. Another King. Same one. Yeah. So I'm going to start reading at night more to help me relax. I think that'll help me sleep. I think it'll give balance to my life, which I think is desperately needed right now. I think I need to get more creative, back to my passions, really start feeling great about myself, harnessing the craft, make it more consistent part of my life. And that's what we build towards, the momentum. You know, because sometimes like when you start out, maybe you put a little bit of effort into something new, and then there's more. You know, it's not a big part of your life, and slowly it becomes more permanent. So it becomes more significant. Instead of spending a few weeks, you spend a month doing it. Then later on, maybe you spend 3 months doing it. The next time, maybe you're doing 6 months a year, and all of a sudden, it's now become part of every day. And I think that's what Spirit's trying to get to me. You know, I do one book a year, and it's like, no, you can do more than one book a year, though, can't you? Yeah, but we don't really need to. Well, we'd like you to do more than one a year now. Do you see what I mean? Like, we'd like you to do more now. Like, we've eased you into it. Now, let's like integrate it. And I think that's what they want. They need to be off, but always putting the work in. Really, take it serious. Because if you want to be as successful as you can be, you're gonna have to put the work in and be consistent. So they're building that momentum, and you know, it's up to me to do it. So that's what I'm doing. I feel lighter. I feel better. Let's do this.